Good evening and welcome to the May 30th, 2024 special meeting of the San Diego Community Power Board of Directors. I am Joe LaCava, Chair of the Board and the representative for the City of San Diego. We welcome the members of the public, the community power staff, and board members joining us in person today. And a special thank you for attending this special meeting. I will now call the May 30th, 2024 special meeting of the Board of Directors of San Diego Community Power to order. Moderator, will you please call the roll?
Chair LaCava.
Present.
Vice Chair Lassen-Reimer. Director Aguirre.
Here.
Director Parent.
Here.
Director Yamani.
Here.
Director McCann. Oh, he just joined. And Director Hinsey.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Did you get me? I apologize. I was being promoted.
Yes, we did.
Thank you very much.
All right. And I believe Director Hinsey needs to make a statement.
Yes, I do. I am participating in today's meeting remotely under recent amendments to the Brown Act due to a caregiving need preventing me from participating in person, and there is not someone 18 or older in the room with me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you both for joining in remotely. So we do have a quorum. Let us, if you can, please stand, face the flag, hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Again, a quorum is present. As this is a special meeting, there will be no general public comment. So we will go right to item 1, which is adopt a Power 100 Green E certified product and approve its rate. And I will turn it over to our CEO, Karen Burns.
Thank you, Chair LaCava, and good evening, members of the board. I want to take a moment to acknowledge why we are bringing this item to you today and to thank the team who have made both of our items possible. San Diego Community Power was created to empower customers to choose electricity services that meet the needs of their families and businesses. This item, Power 100 Green Plus, and the Power Base item we will hear about in a moment, round out a suite of rate products that address a much wider range of our customers' needs, whether they want the cleanest, most renewable electricity available or seek a more economical option. There are so many SDCP members to thank for their tremendous and tireless efforts to bring these options to you and to our customers. This was a true team effort. I would like to offer my sincere thanks to Lucas Uto, Aaron Liu, Byron Bosberg, Jen LeBron, Jack Clark, Tim Magumont, Carly Newman, Lee Friedman, Jill Monroe, Elaine Metza, Carly Mink, and many others on the community board, on the community power team who have made it possible for San Diego electricity customers to have more electricity choices than they have ever had before. Power 100 Green Plus was developed after direct requests from our customers. And so I'll turn it over to Lucas Uto, Senior Director of Data Analytics and Customer Operations, and Aaron Liu, Senior Rates and Strategy Analyst, to present this item. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karen. Good evening, Chair LaCava and members of the board. My name is Lucas Uto. I'm the Senior Director of Data Analytics and Customer Operations. Alongside me is...
Good evening, everyone. Board of Directors. My name is Aaron Liu, Senior Rates and Strategy Analyst. Super happy to be here today.
And tonight, it is our distinct privilege to be presenting this item. And with that, I'll pass the baton over to Aaron to take us home.
Thank you, Lucas. Next slide, please. So we'll start with a bit of background of SDCP's current offerings. We are offering 2 levels of service. One is Power On, which is 54.2% renewable. It's our standard service offering with at least the minimum 50% renewable power. And then the other offering available is Power 100. It's a premium service with 100% renewable and carbon-free power at a $0.0075 per kilowatt hours, and it will be adjusted to $0.01 per kilowatt hours as of July 1st, 2024. Next slide, please. So we as a team and as an organization listen to customer feedback and needs and address those concerns. So commercial and industrial customers in particular desire a standalone 100% renewable and carbon-free Green E certified service. It's really to cater to the leadership in energy and environmental design or LEED rating goals and their accreditation needs. So LEED is the world's most widely used green building rating system. And this new Power 100 Green Plus service offering will allow for projects and buildings to earn LEED renewable energy points to count towards certification. And in addition, this new product will also cater to Securities and Exchange Commission new rules to enhance and standardize climate-related disclosures. Next slide, please. So a little bit more detail about this service offering. It will be effective as of July 1st, 2024. This new service will be called Power 100 Green Plus, priced at a 2-cent per kilowatt hour adder to Power On, initially available to commercial and industrial customers only. And we expect 2% of the current load will enroll, and enrollment will be capped at 5% of load unless modified by the board. In terms of fiscal impact, it will bring in $3.2 million in net annual revenue, and the estimate already factored into fiscal projections reviewed and approved by the board in SDCP's 2024 rate schedules. And the source will be primarily sourced from long-term contracts available to SDCP, Dura Mesa, IB, Oberon, Vikings Energy Farm, a mix of wind and solar. Next slide, please. So that concludes my presentation, and happy to take any questions.
All right, thank you very much for the presentation. Karen, in your introduction, Mari, do we have any public comment on this item?
No, Mr. Chair.
All right. Staff is looking for a recommendation, so I'll turn it over to the board for comments and a motion. Councilmember Campbell, Councilmember Parent. Where that came from.
I don't know either. That's fine. I know a lot of great Campbell. So, can we look at the slides back with the bullet points of the proposal? When we say, so why are we capped? What's the purpose of capping the 5% load?
Thank you for that question. Typically, the capping mechanism allows for us to pilot the new product, right? And see how it's performing versus the intended target level. But what we're saying here is, if and when we do reach that cap, we will definitely come back to the board with recommendations to either expand the product or do something else. So then we are effectively meeting the customer's needs.
Okay. And then when we say 3.2 million in net annual revenue, does that mean that we're anticipating by introducing this option that we will generate more revenue than we otherwise would?
That is correct. And in terms of the Power 100 stock of service offerings, right? We have the non-greedy certified, which is the Power 100 product that Aaron spoke about, whose existing premium right now is 0.0075 cents per kilowatt hour. And that will be adjusted to a penny per kilowatt hour effective July 1st. And this new product that is greedy certified, it's essentially top of the line premium product. And customers will pay the additional penny more than they otherwise would for the regular Power 100 product.
Okay, and then my understanding is that the reason that they're paying a premium is because there's some additional costs associated with us to prove out the certification for their LEED certification purposes. That's accurate?
That is very accurate, yes.
And is that extra premium that we're charging, is that covering all of our additional costs associated with that?
It certainly is. We've taken into account not only the procurement costs, but also the certification and audit required costs as well. And the net annual revenue that you see in front of you, that is all inclusive of not only the cost, but also the expected projected revenue.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, I appreciate all that. I just wanted to ask those questions just to be clear and to put them for the record. I think it's great that we're being responsive to customer desires for a different product like this. I wouldn't be, I'm in favor of this, and because of the ways that you answered those questions, I wouldn't be comfortable with having like the rest of ratepayers subsidize a special product like this for the marketing benefits that people get out of LEED certification. But if they want it and they're willing to pay for the extra and it doesn't cost anybody else anything, I think that's great, and we should absolutely respond to that. And I think that's reflective of a good ethos of the agency. So I'll move the item and sure have additional conversations.
Okay. So
I'll second that.
Oh, is that Councilmember Hensy? Mayor McGann. Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I tried to recognize the voice and it didn't come across. So my
People
apologies.
often confuse us.
So, okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. Are there any other comments by board?
Through the chair,
Yes.
it says in the bullet points that this is gonna be effective July 1st. We're ready for it.
Thank you for that question. Yes, we are more than ready.
Very good.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick comment in general. We did review this at the Finance and Risk Management Committee. And I had actually that same question about making sure that we are able to cover our internal costs. And that was very clear when you guys gave the presentation and explained to us. So fully support the item as well.
All right. So without any other comments, thank you to my colleagues for the questions. And thank you, as Karen highlighted, everybody it took to actually come up with this new program in response to our customers. So thank you for that very good work. I know it seems like a pretty simple, but it took a lot of work to get here. So thank you for that work. So we have a motion by Director Parent to move the staff recommendation, a second by Director McStan. All in favor, say aye.
Roll call.
Aye.
Roll call vote, that's right. I'm just nailing it today. So, Mara, could you please do a roll call vote?
Chair LaCava,
Yes.
Director Aguirre,
Yes.
Director Parent,
Yes.
Director Yamani,
Yes.
Director McCann,
Aye.
and Director Hensy.
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, I got a second chance now. Item number 2. This is adopt a power-based service and approve its rate. And again, I'll turn it over to our CEO, Karen Burns.
Thank you, Chair, and good evening again, board members. The next item creates a product that is designed to be extremely cost competitive with SDG&E rates. And again, before I start, a sincere thanks to all of the team members mentioned previously who helped to make this possible. Power Base, that's what we're calling it, gives customers the option to continue their investment in a locally controlled, customer-driven, not-for-profit organization that is committed to creating an affordable, clean energy future for everyone. We recognize that customers have different wants from their electricity provider. Some see the value of more renewable energy and have the means to pay a premium to support higher amounts of renewable content. For others, electricity is yet another necessary expense that they get anxious about each time a bill comes. Over the past few months, our team has done an enormous amount of analysis to bring our customers a rate product that will provide more relief for our price-sensitive customers. This rate product supports our path to 100% renewable power for all by 2035 through a focus on customer retention. We appreciate your consideration of Power Base and the option it creates for our customers. Lucas Uto and Tim Maglamont will now provide additional details. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Again, good evening. So alongside me, I'll pass the baton to Tim to introduce himself, and then we'll get underway.
Hi, Taylor Kava, Board of Directors, Timothy Maglemot, Senior Finance Manager at Technical Power. And I'll turn it back over to Lucas.
Thanks, Tim. Together, we'll be presenting on staff recommendation to have the board adopt Powerbase, which is a new service offering, and approve its rates. Next slide, please. So as with the previous service offering, for us, we do believe that customer is truly the cornerstone of what we do as an organization. And we strongly believe that Powerbase is a service that will continue to support our mission to achieve 100% renewable energy by 2035 or sooner through customer retention and providing competitive pricing. Through the service offering, we are expanding choice for our customers to decide on what makes sense for themselves, right? What makes sense for their families and their businesses. And we do believe that having choice is what SDCP is all about. So this new service offering features rates that are 2.5% lower than SDG&E's existing default commodity rates that are effective as of March 1 of 2024. And we do believe that Powerbase will essentially meet the needs of our more price-sensitive customers the way that they have expressed their concerns around affordability goes. Next slide, please.
So as we get into the finances here a little bit, I think it's helpful to just do a peer review of other CCAs, as there is precedent for a product like this. In particular, San Jose Clean Energy, who you see highlighted on the left in gray, they had a very similar product called Green Value at a time when their rates were a little bit more expensive than Pacific Gas and Electric up to the north. During that time, or after that time, San Jose Clean Energy, by focusing on customer and community, they're able to not only retain their customers, but they currently have the highest participation rate of all CCAs. And since then, they've also since sunsetted their product. But it was a key product that they had for the customers in the community. Next slide. So looking into the actual finances, the Powerbase product would lead to a negligible effect in net income. We don't believe it'll affect actual net income. The participation rate that we believe will be preserved with this product, kind of similar to San Jose Clean Energy. And so we do think it's a product that gives customers choice, preserves community, but at the same time, it provides a negligible net income impact.
Next slide, please. So what are some of the key highlights of Powerbase? One, and I think the biggest one is it is going to be a 2.5% discount to SDG&E. It is definitely not eligible for a member agency-wide service or default service changes. We're capping the participation in the exact same manner that the previous service offering is at 15% of participating load. And when we do get to 10% participation, we will definitely come back to the board with recommendations. And it supports our mission broadly to provide affordable option for our customers. It is no secret that affordability is top of mind in our region in particular. And it definitely helps support SDCP's mission to get to 100% renewable energy by 2035 or sooner through customer retention, especially for price-sensitive customers. Next slide, please. So these three next slides essentially capture the bill impacts for customers who elect to opt down to Powerbase. You can clearly see on the right-hand side that the total generation-related charges, the discount there is 2.5, as previously mentioned. And then in terms of the total bill impact, customers on Powerbase can expect to see a savings value proposition on their total bill of about 1%. And this is true not only for residential customers, which this slide depicts, it is also true in the next slide, which captures small commercial customers. So please, next slide. And it is also true for a large commercial customer on the next slide. And please, next slide. That actually wraps up our presentation for tonight. we're more than glad to take any questions or comments. That's just fine. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the presentation. Do we have any public comment on this item?
No, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Again, staff is looking for support for the recommendation. I'll turn it over to the board for comments and a motion. And I think I see Council Member Hensy with her hand up.
Yeah, I just had a quick question of clarification from the staff report on page 10. In the bottom half of the third paragraph, it says, in addition, staff intends for the renewable content of power base to meet or exceed that of SDG&E whenever possible, given the complexity of our current energy markets and associated delays in power content reporting. So that means that we're establishing the floor for how much renewable would be in the portfolio, but there's the chance that we might see the renewables increase even for this option.
Thank you for the question. Yes, that is correct. So I think the essence of that specific paragraph in the staff report is to highlight the fact that it is staff's recommendation and intention to, at the bare minimum, be at the renewable portfolio standards as mandated by the state of California, but we will try to beat the renewable content of SDG&E. Now, the only challenge with that, and we've tried to capture that in the report for that paragraph, is that it's always a moving target because you won't know the where the renewable content or the power content label for SDG is until it is finalized and approved, right? So it's always going to be a moving target, but it is the intent of staff to meet or exceed the SDG&E renewable content, so then this new service offering can compete not only from a price perspective, but also the renewable energy content perspective.
Thank you. Would it be worthwhile for us to be receiving reports following these the transparency so that we know how we compare in the future?
Yeah, that's an excellent question and excellent point. So in terms of the timelines, the approved, I think we have to come to the board for our power source disclosure and additional details. I think Margaret is here and he can fill those questions. And essentially that power source disclosure, once it's ratified by the board, then it becomes part of our approved power content label. And that typically comes out every October. So by every October 1st, it's just that in this year, there are some delays and we wanted to capture those into the report mechanics so that the general public and the board understood that there have been delays and we're working towards resolving those delays. But yes, I mean, that's something that we can definitely preview as part of the power source disclosure agreement that has to be ratified by the board. And then we can certainly take a look at where the competition is, and we can report on that on a go-forward basis.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the thorough answer. And that would be my recommendation. I think it would be helpful for the board to be able to see how we're performing with this new rate option. And that's it. Thank you.
All right, excellent suggestion there. Any other board members? Councilmember Parent.
Got it. Thanks very much for this. I guess I wanted to express my appreciation for the staff for this proposal. It would be, this is a tough time to be doing the mission of this agency. It's tough to procure energy. Costs are really high on for big global reasons way outside of our control. Our ambitious but attainable goal to get 100% green energy is harder today than we imagined it when we first set up the agency and when I was among those of us who voted to join the JPA initially. So we're in it. So it's a challenge, but I think it's also important for us to remember, as the staff proposal reflects, we have a dual mandate, both to reach that 100% green energy goal and also to have a cost competitive and ideally a bargain for ratepayers. And I think this proposal strikes that balance, is faithful to that dual mandate. And I think it's the right approach, and it preserves for us the breadth of a customer base that will allow us to do the things that we intend to do as an agency. So I'm supportive of it. I also want to recognize and express my appreciation for staff for thinking creatively about how to achieve that to help set us up for continued success as an agency. I'll move to approve.
Oh. Didn't you want to take anything for granted?
I'll second.
Second.
So this time I clearly heard Director Aguirre keep it the second, so. I didn't get that right. Any other comments by board members? I'll ask a couple of questions inspired by Director Parent's comments on the first one. So let me start by saying thank you very much. I know this was an especially challenging analysis to do and figure out where the right spot to hit was. So thank you for all the good work, the number crunching to figure this out and bring this forward. And as I think we've all kind of agreed, the sensitivity to our customer base is critically important to be responsive to them while we pursue that dual objective, as Director Parent said, about both affordability and meeting our green energy. So a couple of questions. This one, we actually said we'll do this up to 15% of the load. What was the thinking about going that big as opposed to setting a lower threshold and then revisit it if we were seeing additional pressure from our customer base?
Thank you for that question, Chair Licata. So the 15% cap essentially is a function of multiple conversations that we've had with our peers in the state that have been in the exact same spot as we are, and through their learned experiences of where the customer base essentially electing to opt down to a similar product. And through those very robust discussions across all CCAs up and down the state, what we did hear from our peers is that the 10 to 15%, that usually tends to be where participation levels essentially tend to peak at. And so us not wanting to reinvent the wheel and us taking lessons learned from our peers said, you know what, this is actually reasonable based on some analysis that the internal staff team did. And that is why we recommending the 15% cap for right now.
Okay, thank you for that. Again, detailed analysis to kind of arrive at that number. And then the last question that I'll ask, and I don't know if Byron wants to answer this one, but we've been approving a lot of purchase power agreements. And I think a lot of those, the sweet spot is like 2027 when those are expected to come online. And for the benefit of those remotely, I see a nodding head out there in the audience that is really, I believe we have a 75% renewable energy target by that time period. And all these, the good work that the purchase power folks are doing are really targeting for 2027 for deliverability. So thank you for that good work. So that helps, I think, kind of round out this conversation. So I want to thank you. So we have a request that staff has agreed to from Director Hensey to report as frequently as appropriate for the actual renewable energy content of this power base. Staff has also made a commitment that once this gets up to 10% of load, that you will report back to the board in case we want to make any adjustments. And then we have a motion by Director Parent to move the recommendation to adopt the power base, a product available to no more than 15% of San Diego Community Power customer load that will not be available as a member agency-wide default service product, and approve the power base rates in attachment A to begin effective on July 1st, 2024. And then there is a second by Director Aguirre. So with that, Mari, please call the vote.
Chair LaCava,
Yes.
Director Aguirre,
Yes.
Director Parent,
Yes.
Director Yamani,
Yes.
Director McCann,
Aye.
Director Hensey.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you very much. So for two very big items, we're done. So thank you again, everybody that participated in this special meeting. This does bring us to the end of the agenda. We are adjourned until the next regular meeting of the Board of Directors of San Diego Community Power on June 27th, 2024. We are adjourned. Thank you again, everyone.
Mayor, I mean, no, thank you.